Keep it locked with your boy on the ones and twos. Going in on the wheels of steel.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. That's the truth.
This is it. The cocaine and the crack. They all sound the same to me.
There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from.
Scoreboard. That's how I'm living.
That's how we do it. That's just the way it is.
That's the reason why I came to you. Drink and women and money.
Good morning, Las Vegas, and all my sports bettors around the world. You know what time it is. Time to wake up and grab your bankroll, hit the window and beat the line. You're rocking with the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, live here at the KSHP Studios, 107.1 FM, AM 1400, VSX Digital Sports Networks. Good morning to all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth to everybody celebrating that. Want to give a shout out to my folks over here in Nevada, here in Las Vegas. Miss Marquis, she's the director of the Miss Juneteenth Nevada Scholarship Program and Pageant. Yesterday I was the MC for that, so I want to thank them for inviting me out for that community event. Very insightful and a very exciting day yesterday. Again, we were able to help a young lady pick up a scholarship to continue her education. So that's a very, very important thing. And this morning, I'm going to help you guys pick up some scholarship about these sports bets. It's Baseball Sunday. Got my main man, Ron Third Down. Best Bet's going to be coming on early to start, talking a little bit of bread and circus. And, of course, my main man, Scotty, Beam Him Up Webb from MLB Daily and the East Coast Sports Investors. Going to be breaking down these baseball picks that you need today to put the cash in your pocket. So, again, you guys keep it locked here. KSHP, AM 1400, 107.1 FM. Of course, check out my website, VegasScoreboardExpress.com, and support our sponsor, Fubo TV. We're giving you 15% off and 7 days free. You guys can catch all these baseball games on Fubo TV. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. So when I get back from this short commercial break, bringing on my main man, Ron Third Down, Best Bets. Going to be talking some baseball, a little bread and circus, just to wake you up early in the morning here on KSHP every Saturday and Sunday. You guys can catch me, JB the Ticket, the boss of the big board, here in Vegas Scoreboard Express, live. 7 a.m. is the end time. 6 a.m. is the start time. You guys got to wake up early in the morning with me to get this money. So when I get back, we're going to jump into it. Happy Father's Day. You dads out there getting all those ties and old socks and stuff like that, don't worry about it. JB the Ticket's got you covered, so when you go to the sports book, you can cash out. You guys keep it locked here. KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1. Get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
This football season, stay in the game with Fubo TV. Over 100 live channels, including NFL Network, NBA TV, and FS1. Don't miss any of the action. Get 7 days free on us at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket.
I'm back on the line with you guys. Got my main man, Ron Third Down, Best Bets. Ron, are you there with us now? Can you finally hear me? Ron, can you hear me?
I'm here. Can you hear me, bro?
Now I can finally hear you. Finally got it going. I had no idea what was going on. Again, those technical difficulties, we don't like it. But again, you guys are rocking with the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket, and Vegas Scoreboard Express. Waking you up early in the morning every Saturday and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. So again, Scotty, Beam Him Up Webb is going to be with us on the half hour for the baseball picks. Again, you guys can follow him over at Webby20 MLB. And, of course, follow Ron over at RaiderHawk1 on Instagram. So we're getting to where we want to be today, Ron. As you know, we're getting into that part of the year, the summertime. Not a lot of stuff to bet on, man. So, again, you know, some of the stuff that you've seen over the past couple of weeks in sports and, you know, what are some of the stories that you've looked at and some of the things that you think we can give some insights for fans to put some cash in your pocket? Like I said, baseball is the summer season. You've got the WNBA. not a lot of games on the schedule. But just talk to me about some of the things that you were thinking about that we were mentioning yesterday. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to harp on the NBA anymore, but I hope we can maybe spread some knowledge, share it with them, because I like the way the NFL took care of their problems.
Right.
Roger Goodell has a team of people that just deal with stuff, no better way to put it.
Right.
They're it's like a brain trust. Adam Silver needs to build something like that, because his product is really suffering because they don't have that right now.
Right.
And I'm really hoping that comes about.
Right.
I'm very excited about the Oakland A's moving to Las Vegas.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. The Oakland A's, done deal.
The vote approved.
Yeah, the vote got approved.
The governor signed.
Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, basically said, look, these guys over in Oakland just could not get a deal done. The Oakland City Council, whatever their city government was doing, they just couldn't do it. But it seems like Nevada is picking up all of the teams from the Bay Area. What is the connection with that? I mean, do you have any idea why that keeps happening? I mean, we did take the Raiders. And, again, Nevada was the most ready city here in Las Vegas. Nevada was the most ready state and ready city to have professional sports. But when you talk about it from the perspective of the Bay Area in California, I know that you're connected to the Bay Area. I know you guys, a lot of fans are pissed about this. Talk to me about some of the things you're hearing on the ground about these Bay Area teams possibly leaving. And, I mean, we're looking for the NBA. Now, Golden State has been a stalwart of the NBA Finals. They've won several championships. I don't think they could move. But from the perspective of maybe the Sacramento Kings, a team that's kind of always been in the middle, hasn't really been too successful since the J. Will days with Vlade Divac and those guys. So when you look at it from that perspective, what are you hearing on the ground about what people are feeling about these teams moving out of state? Go ahead.
So the fans in Oakland are physically upset. I mean, this is devastating to a sports fan. They just lost all their sports. And people don't realize they lost the Warriors technically when they moved across the bay. I mean, they even had the Warriors right there next to the Coliseum. So they had 3 teams right in the same complex at one point.
Right.
And now they have none.
Right.
I feel horribly bad for the fans of the Oakland A's and the Oakland Raiders. They were great fans. They deserve their teams. They supported them. But sports is a business now.
Right.
It is what it is, and sports are making money. And if you can't make money, you're not going to stay. And the Oakland A's are not making money. Their product is horrible. It's a joke. The operation has become a joke. So Major League Baseball did the right thing and basically pushed the A's to Vegas.
Right.
And it needs to be done. It needed to be done. It really did.
Last night,
I feel
we had, just not to cut you off, just got a text from my friend. He was like, let's not forget the party for the VGK. Man, that was a wild stage show. Vegas Golden Knights winning that Stanley Cup. Vegas being a championship city now. You got the WNBA Aces won the championship. You got Vegas Golden Knights. Again, shout out to the Vegas Golden Knights. These guys were partying. One of the guys got the hook. I think it was Jack Eichel. I don't know if you guys were watching it on Fubo TV. You should have been. But he got the hook, man. These guys, he just got on the mic and just went too long. Started cussing. Kids was in the crowd. You know how that goes. But at the end of the day, California is also being affected on the college sports side because the Pac-12 looks like it's going to break up, man. I mean, that's just something that a lot of people didn't see coming. And you have USC and UCLA, 2 teams that you are very familiar with, have been following it for years, moving to the Big Ten. So is this trend of California teams all the way down to college, do you think it's going to continue? Go ahead.
I don't know about in college. I don't think any more California teams are going to move. I mean, there's really not much left. It's worth kind of grabbing for other conferences, to be honest with you.
Oh,
San
my
Diego
goodness.
State, Fresno State are pretty good. Those are 2 good teams, but you don't really have a lot of, there's just not a lot of blue chippers sitting around there waiting to grab up. They were already grabbed. So.
I mean, the Pac-12, if you talk about it from, the historical nature of the quality of players they've had from basketball, football, even some notable baseball players, UCLA, USC, and Cal, those were the stalwarts of that league. Stanford was right behind them. And then you always had the bad teams up in Washington State, Oregon State. And then all of a sudden, Oregon took a ton of Nike money and made themselves national contenders. What do you think has changed with some of these other California institutions, especially USC and UCLA, being that it's called the Pacific 12, the Pac-12, used to be the Pac-10. They've added in a few teams over the years, but money motivation to take kids who normally play within their region and still get national exposure, and then switching them over to a conference where the majority of the teams are in the Midwest. How do you think that's going to affect recruiting, fan interest? Because like I said before, USC, we're used to seeing Pac-12 champions come out, have an opportunity to go to national championship playoff series. But now with these guys moving to the Big Ten in a couple of years and other teams looking to break that conference up, how do you think that's going to affect the recruiting?
I think it's going to help recruiting for USC personally. Moving to the Big Ten, I'm excited about it. I mean, now we get to see USC and Michigan, USC and Penn State.
Yeah, but I like USC Cal. Like USC Cal. I love USC, UCLA. But go ahead.
I'm hoping we'll still get USC, UCLA. I think I read they're trying to still kind of arrange that somehow because they're going to be in the same conference, so they can still do it. USC Cal, I really don't want to watch USC go and beat Cal 56-7. I mean, it's boring. Cal's program is one of the worst in the country. It's just horrible. They can't beat anybody right now.
Now, from the perspective of the SEC, not to cut you off there, but we're just not going to keep ragging on the Pac-12 and these California teams. Sorry, guys. We know you guys listen to us out there. Got to legalize sports betting. Want to give a shout-out to the state of North Carolina, too, man. These guys just jumped on the bandwagon. We got to get on a station out there in North Carolina, especially during football season. But moving into the SEC, I was seeing that these guys are doing more within that conference to restrict NIL deals. So when you talk about college basketball, especially college football coming up, it's just a dearth of information out there. Major media outlets aren't covering them. Even minor media outlets necessarily aren't covering them and getting national exposure or a wide readership. But when you talk about the SEC and their dominance over college football, and even coming into college basketball this year with some dominance with the University of Alabama, several other teams making it, there are some bottom feeders in the SEC. Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. These are teams that, and even Florida now, it sucks that the Florida Gators aren't doing that great. You got University of South Carolina. There's just a lot of teams that, quote unquote, are filler, but still haven't made a decision to break up that conference. So when you talk about a team like Texas A&M leaving the Big 12, coming into the SEC and somewhat competing, what do you think is another one of the conferences that may get broken up here? Go ahead.
I think the ACC stands a chance at it because
the all crap conference. I don't know what happened to the ACC, but go ahead.
Yeah, it used to be the basketball dominant conference, and now it's just weird. It's a strange college.
You can't name 5 head coaches out of the ACC. You can't name 5 head coaches. Yeah. I mean, we had stalwarts for years, Dean Smiths of the world, Lefty Driesel, Mike Krzyzewski, Dave Odom. I'm just giving you a breakdown of all the coaches that were nationally known. And we're just seeing more and more team promotion of the league, and it's just across the board. And I'm not even saying just in college. I'm seeing it more in the pros now. Again, the NBA Finals was an afterthought. Jokic didn't help that with his kind of, I went to go home. You know, he didn't help it. Vegas Golden Knights here, they did a lot of work. But again, on a national scale, we haven't seen it. There haven't been really that many alerts. There haven't been the type of coverage and the type of fanfare that you would typically see. Commercials, promotions, tie-ins, product tie-ins. You just don't see that. So with this being more of a bread and circus segment, what do you think is going to be the future of sports? Because sports betting was immediately embraced by the leagues. Overall, it was embraced by the fans, if you will. Some of the players, retired players, have gotten involved in the game. But just as a cultural needle mover, do you think sports is still going to be that, or is it now just going to become another moneyed industry where you just have people watching for the sake of betting, but as far as fan favorites, rivalries, really getting involved in it as we did in the past, do you think those days have pretty much gone by the wayside?
I really hope not. I pray it hasn't, because I miss those days already. I do see it occasionally. Some of it's still there. I mean, I just don't want to go there with sports. I really hope it doesn't, because I'm a true sports lover. I love sports. I will always love sports, and that's the way it is. And they're not going to ruin my love. They're not going to do it. We need these nasty Kansas City Raider games. I want to see Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, the Bengals.
Yeah, man.
I want to see them knock the pee out of each other.
Because that's what football is about. That's what the sports are about.
Green Bay, Chicago.
Well, I mean, the NFL is going to bring the action. They're going to bring the heat. And, of course, you guys can watch these upcoming NFL games on Fubo TV. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. I've also got my friends over at Paramount Plus. You guys want to check them out. Got the NFL on CBS, so you guys won't be able to miss those games in your CBS region. For me, I got up this morning. I was looking at the notes. There were like 3 pieces of information on. I'm like, what are we going to talk about? I know we had Scotty coming on. We're giving you baseball picks. But me and you as the regular host and co-host, I'm just looking at the sports betting line. I'm looking at the sports news and what's coming out in the summer. We're going to go all over the board. So you guys get ready. You're going to be hearing a lot more Bread and Circus. We're going to be doing some interviews that you're going to be hearing on the weekends. All you guys out there listening to us, again, KSHP 107.1 FM, AM 1400. We're going to be giving you grease, but during the summer, it's going to be more good conversation, more sports talk, more relationship between the fan, the teams, and now more or less the teams in the city, because Vegas is poised to get an NBA team. Before I let you go, Ron, who do you think could possibly come out here to Las Vegas and be a respectable NBA team? Because there's been a few sales. Michael Jordan just sold the Charlotte Hornets. They're going to remain in Charlotte. You saw Matt Ishbia buy the Phoenix Suns. He cleaned house. What do you think maybe could be another one of these franchises that might need to go ahead and move around? Go ahead.
Well, I like your idea of the Kings. I think Sacramento would be a really good choice. I mean, they got a really good building young team. They're going to win. I mean, they already won this year. So, but I also think Portland wouldn't be a bad choice either, getting old Dame Lillard to Vegas. Interesting. Well, they're building arenas. They're putting out plans for sites. But again, it is going to be telling to see how sports and sports media comes in and makes the change. We've already seen it with the end of all that Skip and all that stuff with Skip Bayless and who's that guy named Shannon Sharp. Shout out to the guys over at Fubo TV, Showtime Sports. They're coming more from a podcast perspective, but I just don't think that the sports commentary and the way that fans are relating to athletes is going to go back to the way it was, because if you look at it from the concept of the social media, fans have more access to players now. All you got to do is follow them, DM them, message them. So that wall of exclusivity, if you will, has really been broken, and I think that we just have to continue to evolve and put ourselves in a better position. And as far as the summer sports, you guys got to do a lot better job of promoting yourselves on the line as a sports betting viable entity, because WNBA is not getting covered the way it should. You got the USFL, these semi-pro football leagues that are out not getting covered the way they should. And even baseball, in a way, isn't getting covered the way it should. But we here at VSX are doing our part to keep you educated. So thank you so much, Ron, for stopping by today. Any shout-outs before I let you get out of here and bring on Scotty Beam up Webb for these baseball picks on this Baseball Sunday? Go ahead. Yeah, got to get my dad a shout out. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Miss you so much up in heaven.
There you go.
Happy Father's Day to everybody, all the fathers out there.
That's right. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And if you want to get your dad a gift that he can use and it's going to be exciting for him, go over to FuboTV.com/JB. We're going to give you 15% off on your initial sign up, 7 days free, so your dad can try it out. You can also go to my website, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Got a lot of cool gifts and opportunities for you there. I want to give a shout-out to the dad that's on our show, Linwood Hard Rock Hamilton, defender of the youth. Shout out to all of his kids, grandkids. I know you guys listening to the show. Hope to have your grandpa and your pops back on soon for these previews of the NFL. You guys are going to want to stay tuned for that coming up in August. Going to be breaking down all the teams, which teams you can ride with, and put cash in your pocket. So again, Ron, Third Down Best Bets, thank you so much for stopping by. When I get back from this short commercial break, got my main man Scotty Beam him up Webb from the East Coast Sports Investors. Now we're getting into the picks. Now we're getting into the groove. Time to put cash in your pocket. So grab your bankroll, get ready to hit the window and beat the line. Thank you guys so much for listening to our Bread and Circus segment. Just trying to give you some intelligent sports talk here on a early Sunday morning. Again, happy Father's Day to all you guys out there who are dads doing it right. All the dads that is on lockdown, still writing your kids, still making cards for them, drawing them pictures. Give you guys a shout out. And all my military and first responders, all the guys deployed around the world and around our nation, protecting this great nation, doing what they do. If you can't be with your kids, we're giving them a shout out for you. Happy Father's Day, guys. Happy Juneteenth. Celebrating the freedom and the release of all that bad stuff that was going on back in the day. Can never let that come back. But what we are going to do is come back shortly after this commercial break with Scotty Beam him up Webb. So you guys keep it locked here on KSHP 107.1 AM 1400 and VSX Digital Sports Network. Get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JBTHETICKET. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
STN Sports is the only sports betting app you need this season. STN Sports has it all. In-play betting, mobile parlay cards, the Play Plus card to fund and withdraw from anywhere in Nevada, and the latest lines on every game. STN Sports even lets you earn rewards on every bet. Safe and easy betting from your phone or tablet. Go to StationCasinoSports.com or sign up at any Station Casino, Fiesta Wildfire, or the El Cortez. Details at the sportsbooks.
Keep it locked with your boy on the ones and twos. Going in on the wheels of steel.
JB the Ticket back at you live, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Let's jump into it. Scotty, beam him up Webb from the East Coast Sports Investor. Scotty, are you finally on the line with me? Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I am here on this wonderful day. It's a great Father's Day and loaded with baseball today.
Fantastic. Got you back up and running, man. Technical difficulties on Father's Day. You know how they always try to hate on the dads, but again, so glad to have you back on the line with us. Scotty Beam him up Webb, East Coast Sports Investors, MLBDaily.com. Giving you guys these baseball picks for this Sunday, June 18, 2023, Father's Day. So, Scotty, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. We've had a lot of technical difficulties. The fans are looking to put cash in their pocket. Let's talk about this American League East. Got the classic matchup, New York Yankees at Boston. Rotation number 981, the New York Yankees, plus 115 on the money line, going up against those Boston Red Sox. Minus 135, rotation number 982. The Boston Red Sox have been on a tear. They have a really, really solid record. I'm kidding. These guys are at 500. What's going on up in Boston? I'm joking, because some of the losses I've seen them take have just been very, very short losses. And when I take a look at what they have been able to do over the past 2-3 years, they just won the World Series a couple of years back. Seems like that team has regressed a lot. Let's talk about it, Scotty. Go ahead.
Well, they have some issues there when Jaime Bloom took over, who's now the general manager for them. He was kind of hand-struck with dollars, so they wanted to get out of a lot of contracts, and obviously they did. You know, Bogarts is gone, and Betts is gone, and all these big players that they had. So he's been a little bit hung-struck, and they got him, Jaime Bloom. They got him from Tampa Bay. And they were thinking, okay, well, Tampa Bay, how they do things with no money. So they thought, well, maybe he could do some things over here. And I think that Boston's a team that just because they play in the American League East is problematic for them. I think that they played, obviously in the American League Central or whatever, they would be one of the top teams in that division. But I think they're going to be in a position where their younger players haven't really panned out. Their younger pitchers haven't really panned out yet. And the veterans, they got. I would call them, more or less retread veteran guys. You go out and get Justin Turner and players like that off the heap. But we'll see. I mean, some of the guys they've signed have been pretty good. The guy they got from Japan has played very well. So I think that overall, I mean, they're a 500 team. That's what they are, and that's kind of where they're going to be. And I think that because they play in the American League East, they're going to struggle because that's a really good conference, or division. But I will say this: without Aaron Judge, the New York Yankees are probably the bottom feeder in that division.
Man, unfortunate for them. Taking a look at the line today, I think who's going to be on the mound. It looks like you got Clark Schmidt, and then they're going up against the Boston Red Sox. Don't even have a pitcher on the line, so these guys are going to try to confuse you and take you down. I'm not going to bet this game. A lot of people were asking me about it because I am from New York, and they're like, what do you think about the Yankees? I'm saying, look, I'm staying off of this game just for the simple fact, like you said, Boston is a 500 team, feast or famine. You never know which way it's going to go. And now taking a look at the updated lines, they don't even have a pitcher on the line. But nevertheless, what's your pick on that game? Go ahead, if you have one.
Well, I would say this. Clark Schmidt has been the best Yankees pitcher over the last, say, month, maybe even month and a half. He's pitched better than Garrett Cole. He's pitched, he's been their best guy. Now, what I don't like to do is his last start, he was against the Boston Red Sox. So he's going to see them the second straight time. And usually what happens when these kind of scenarios come up is if they pitch well, they're not going to pitch well the second time because the hitters make adjustments. If they pitch poorly, they'll pitch a lot better. But he pitched pretty good the last time, so I don't expect him to have as great a game against the Red Sox. But, if the Red Sox are going to throw a bullpen game at the Yankees today, if anything, this would be the one to bet because you don't want to bet on Severino. Severino's the nightcap tonight. And he is probably one of the worst pitchers going on the board today, and he just hasn't been able to get out of his own way. So I kind of think of it this way. I mean, if you want to play the Yankees Red Sox and you want to play the game and kind of be on the Yankees, it would be this game. And you certainly can go back the other way and bet Bello tonight against Severino tonight. So, but to be honest, they just had this weekend series last weekend too, and they were on Sunday night. And I think I agree with what Alex Cora said. There are other teams other than the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, especially when neither one of them are any good right now, that you would want to see them on Sunday night. I would more prefer rather to see, Toronto play Texas. That would be a better game tonight.
That's what I'm talking about. You're listening to my main man, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb, East Coast Sports Investors, MLB-daily.com. Check him out on the social medias at Webby20MLB. Another interesting game that is on the line today. People were talking to me about it. The New York Mets, 33-37. New York Mets having another one of those down seasons. At home today, rotation number 956, the New York Mets. They are in the favorite at minus 125. I'm seeing that there may be some line changes on their St. Louis Cardinals, rotation number 955, another bottom feeder in Major League Baseball. Like I said before, this is one of those Sundays where you got two turds in the bucket, see which one goes down first. That's kind of what you're betting on. New York Mets, these guys have got Carlos Carrasco looking like he's going to get the start. And for the Cardinals, Matthew Liberatore. So a right-hander versus a left-hander. Talk to me about two teams right now that really are underachieving. St. Louis plus 105. Who do you think has the edge in that game?
Well, I don't think there's any possible way that you can go out and start betting on the St. Louis Cardinals in any way, shape, or form. The St. Louis Cardinals are the most disappointing baseball team in all of Major League Baseball. They have an offense and a talent that just is unequal in their division. The team is actually better than every one of their other teams. They're better than Pittsburgh. They're better than Milwaukee. They're better than They're better than the Reds. I mean, they're better than the Cubs, but they don't play like it. And I think, and you know, this is, I think they've messed up so many things, and that the manager, the field manager, is he's got to go. I mean, he's I think been the key to this problem. Now, having said all that, you know, Liberatore, who's pitching today, is one of their young, you know, he's one of their guys that is supposed to be really good, but he's not. So he's very hittable. And you know, Carrasco is one of these old guys that's been around the block a while. And at this point in his career, he's just trying to mop up things, and he's very hittable too. I think this Sunday is going to be some games out there where, and you might want to look more towards totals. You know, like this game, I think if you played this one in the first 5 innings, for example, you could bet over 5 runs in the first 5 innings, and I think that would be a better bet than trying to figure out who's going to win the game, because you know both of these two teams are underperforming. But I would say, you know, the Mets, you know, they're missing Pete Alonso right now, so you know you're missing your big home run guys. So I would just stay with the poor pitchers and having the guys whoever hits and have them score some runs, because I think there's a lot of that today. You know, this game, Pittsburgh's game. You know, there's just the White Sox and the Mariners game, the Reds and the Astros. These just aren't good pitchers, and you got some teams that can go out and score some runs today.
That's what I'm talking about, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb, from the East Coast Sports Investors, MLBDaily.com. On the line with me, Scotty. You stay locked in with us, and you guys, too, listening here in Las Vegas, waking you up early in the morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday. JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express are giving you the picks. So Scotty's telling you right now, rotation number. Let me pull it back up because I want to make sure it matches. 955. St. Louis Cardinals on the road in New York at the Mets. Rotation number 956. He's telling you these guys are hittable. Take the over in the first 5 innings. So, Scotty, when we get back, going to have more picks with you. Any shout-outs before this short commercial break? Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, it's been a little while, and I haven't talked to shout-out Jeff Dawson for a little bit at East Coast Sports Investors. You know, he's constantly just sitting there plugging away, so I just want to make sure that he knows we're out here thinking of him.
There you go. Jeff Dawson, shout-out to Jeff Dawson. Also want to give a shout-out to Pop DiBiase, Prime Wave Media Group. I'm seeing him all over the boxing world, making it happen. Hopefully this summer we'll be able to get some good boxing matches for you, be able to break it down and bring him on the show to give you his picks. I know Charlo's supposed to be fighting in a couple of weeks, but I just haven't been up on it the way that I should. But again, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, back from this short commercial break. More with Scotty Beam him up, Webb, from the East Coast Sports Investors and MLBDaily.com. So grab your pen and paper. It's time to get some picks and get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JBTHETICKET. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Farmer's Burger from Farmer Boys. Beef, bacon, cheese, hand-smashed avocado, and fresh veggies. Best burger champ. That's how we drop the mic. Farmer Boys. Farm food ain't fast food. Farmer Boys' new always crispy fries stay crispier and tastier all the way home. If they make it home.
Sharing is caring.
Farmer Boys. Farm food ain't fast food.
This football season, stay in the game with Fubo TV. Over 100 live channels, including NFL Network, NBA TV, and FS1. Don't miss any of the action. Get 7 days free on us at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
Fire more heat.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JBTHETICKET. Giving you
spitting that explosive fire.
Waking you back up early in the morning. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Got my main man, Scotty, beam him up Webb from the East Coast Sports Investors at MLBDaily.com. Scotty, you back on the line with me. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I'm here. No worries.
There you go. He's here to give you the picks that pay, putting that cash in your pocket. Again, you guys want to follow him over on the social media networks at Webby20MLB. So let's jump back into these baseball picks this afternoon. Again, being brought to you by Fubo TV. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Giving you 15% off. Now, you were mentioning this game before the break. Rotation number 957, the Pittsburgh Pirates on the road today in Milwaukee, going up against the Brewers. Rotation number 958. Now, the Pittsburgh Pirates are in the plus, meaning they're the dog, at 136 on the road. Total runs scored 8.5. And Milwaukee, somehow, some way, these guys are in the favorite. Talking about the Milwaukee Brewers, this is a team that has, again, in my opinion, from a betting standpoint, been very, very consistent losing games. It seems like every time I pick these guys, and they've got a 36-34 record, I think they're finally going to break out, but they're not able to do it. And you got the Pittsburgh Pirates coming in with the very similar record of 34-35. So you got Luis Ortiz for the Pittsburgh Pirates. You got Freddie Peralta for Milwaukee. Talking about these games where you were saying that a lot of hittable pitchers are on the mound today, how do you see this game shaping out? Go ahead.
Well, Luis Ortiz is a pitcher that is kind of a young incomer for the Pirates, but he's not got there yet. He's you don't want to bet on guys that put people on base, and he's got a 4.5 walks per 9 innings rate. So an average pitcher is going to be at 3. So he's well above average. So he puts guys on base. His strikeout rate is low, so that means balls are going to be put in play. So he's very hittable, and when you start to think about where the Pirates are, I think they're a good story. I think they've been hovering around the leading that division for most of the season. But they've lost 5 straight games, and when a team's lost 5 straight games, you don't sit here and try to decide the time when they're going to win their first one. So this is a game where you either go and say, I'm going to bet on Milwaukee to continue beating up on the Pirates, or right, I'm going to decide that the Pirates and the Brewers are going to hit, and they're going to go over the number.
Right, Scotty, beam him up, Webb, dropping that grease for you, breaking it down. Again, this is one of those games where I take a look at it and I say, I'm looking at the line today. I see a lot of teams hovering over 500. You were talking about this team here, the Pittsburgh Pirates versus Milwaukee. Who do you see in that one? 957 Pittsburgh or 958 Milwaukee? Go ahead.
Well, Peralta's been a great pitcher for Milwaukee in the past. He's not been real good for Milwaukee this season. So I kind of like the idea here that both teams are going to score some runs. I would go Pittsburgh and Milwaukee over the total, and especially over in the first half. It's only 4.5. You can get over 4.5 runs in the first 5 innings in this game.
That's what I'm talking about, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb, moving down the line. You mentioned this one is something you wanted to possibly see in prime time, but it's an afternoon game, early morning game here on the West Coast. Rotation number 965, the Toronto Blue Jays heading down to Arlington. Rotation number 966, you got the Texas Rangers, a team right now that has balling out. They're putting cash in people's pocket, 43-27 overall. And you've got the Toronto Blue Jays, 6 games over 500 at 39-33. When you talk about their last 10, Toronto is 5-5. Texas 3-7. These guys have hit a little bit of a skid, but they've got John Gray on the mound today for the Texas Rangers going up against Chris Bassett for the Toronto Blue Jays. When you talk about a team like Texas that has been on a skid, and you've got a team like Toronto coming into this game, splitting their last 10, how do you see this panning out? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that this is an interesting matchup here because Texas just got kind of manhandled by the Angels. The Angels kind of beat them up there. John Gray has really overachieved this season. He's pitched very, very well, but he was supposed to start on Thursday. they pushed him back, and it's not like he missed the start. They just pushed him back. He has a blister problem on his finger, so it could be a problem for him today against Toronto. And I kind of like the idea, too. We talked about this a minute ago. If a pitcher's thrown really bad his last time out, a lot of times they overcompensate. Well, I shouldn't say overcompensate. They correct that behavior and pitch really well. Well, Bassett couldn't have hardly thrown any worse than the last time he pitched. So I like the idea that Toronto is going to pitch pretty well today, and Gray has a blister problem. So I kind of like Toronto as an underdog.
Telling you right now, he likes him at the dog position, rotation number 965. Scotty, beam him up. Webb telling you take him. Money line. The Toronto Blue Jays should be able to pull out that win today. Really do like that pick. Be able to put at least 110 to plus 120 in your pocket. And going ahead to get into the final game that I wanted to take a look at this afternoon. Your Tampa Bay Rays, first team to 50 wins this baseball season. Looks like they're tearing through Major League Baseball on the way to the World Series, man. These guys are at 51-23, 20-16 on the road with a 6-4 record in their last 10, so at least they're a couple of games over 500. But they're going against the hapless San Diego Padres. This is a team that has been in a dog position for a lot of the season. But today, minus 140 on the line, rotation number 980, the San Diego Padres at home versus the Tampa Bay Rays, rotation number 979. When you talk about it from the perspective of Tampa Bay coming into this game, is this going to be a let-off-the-gas type game, or do you think your local Tampa Bay Rays are going to continue to keep pushing through their division? And this is an interleague game, so we're going to get to see how they can perform in the other league, which is kind of like I like to say a preview of the World Series. We know San Diego ain't going to the World Series. I'm just telling you, we know that. But to see the Rays go into this interleague game, do you see that value there to go ahead and stick with Tampa Bay here? Go ahead.
Well, Tampa Bay is going to start Yanni Chirinos today, and Yanni Chirinos is kind of a mixed breed kind of guy. He's not a big strikeout guy. He's a soft tosser. He gets a lot of ground balls. And Musgrove is starting for the Padres, who's been turning his season around now. He's getting his feel for the season right. So I think there's a pitching edge for San Diego. San Diego's been a little bit better on offense lately. But Tampa Bay can score anytime at any position in any lineup spot in the game. So I don't think there's ever a reason why you couldn't take Tampa Bay as an underdog ever. Because when they're an underdog, the chances are pretty good that they're at least going to be competitive and be in the game. And they're off of a shutout loss yesterday. And how many times you ever see the Tampa Bay Rays get shut out? So I don't mind Tampa Bay being the selection and the choice here as a small underdog.
That's what I'm talking about, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb, from the East Coast Sports Investors. Again, Scotty, any final shout-outs before I let you go and we get you out to your Father's Day? Want to give you a shout-out. Happy Father's Day to you, Scotty. I know that you're a dad. You had your son down there. You guys tuned into the show. Thank you so much for coming on today and taking the time out to spend time with all the listeners here in Las Vegas and around the world. You guys are rocking with JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express here on KSHP 107.1 FM at AM 1400. Of course, check out our website, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Check out Scotty's website, MLBDaily.com. That's MLB-daily.com. He's going to be able to give you picks packages. Guys, a walking pack of baseball cards, man. He's putting that cash in your pocket. Again, Scotty, beam him up, Webb. Thank you so much for stopping by. Any final shout-outs before we let you get out of here, brother?
Yeah, I was just going to say, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Baseball is a good way to connect with your sons. It's a good way to connect with a lot of things in life. So, not that baseball is the end-all everything, because I do football too, but it's a great way in the way the season's progressing. Take your son to a game this summer.
That's what I'm talking about. Scotty, beam him up, Webb, East Coast Sports Investor. We're rocking with you. Thank you so much, Scotty, for stopping by. We'll be checking in with him next Sunday for the Baseball Sunday Picks. You guys follow the show on Instagram at JB the Ticket. Follow us on the Bird at We Beat the Line. And most importantly, go to our website, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. And if you are a business looking to get advertising in sports betting, #1 sports rated show in the morning, every Saturday and Sunday on the weekend here in Vegas and around the world. You can follow us on Apple Podcasts. We also got some great offers for you on Spreaker, Spotify. Tons of ability for you guys to enjoy your sports betting day. Also want to give a shout out to my folks over at BetUS. Go to betus.com, use offer code VSX125. People, that's my Father's Day gift to all the dads out there, giving you an extra 125% on your initial deposit. So when I take this short commercial break and come back, I'm going to be signing off with you guys. You guys know what time it is. It's Father's Day. It's Juneteenth weekend. Enjoy your time out with your kids and out with your family. And most importantly, you stick with us, and we're going to put that cash in your pocket. When I get back from this short commercial break, I'm signing off. Get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JBTHETICKET, Vegas Scoreboard Express.
This football season, stay in the game with Fubo TV. Over 100 live channels, including NFL Network, NBA TV, and FS1. Don't miss any of the action. Get 7 days free on us at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled, get Fubo TV.
And that's a wrap, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by the big board today, this Father's Day. Shout out to all my dads out there, all the baby daddies, everybody that's taking care of their kids. And if you're not taking care of your kids, you might want to start doing that. And again, check out some baseball with them. Go to Scotty Webb's website. We'll be back with you next week, every Saturday and Sunday. JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. Go ahead and get out there and get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express.